Hey guys, welcome to the Midwest Input. I'm Zach, and today I have with me Mr. Scott Spilde. How's it going, Scott?
Good, how you doing?
Good. So we've known each other for a while. We raced together in hobby stock class, and it was a really good time. How'd you get started in racing?
Well, years ago, if you want to go back that far, I had an uncle that raced, so we went all the time. When I remember 5 years old, I don't know if you remember, John Nesby was my uncle.
Okay.
And yeah, we'd go all the time, right with my dad, my uncle, and as we grew up, my sister met a guy that raced by the name of Steve Holthaus.
Okay.
You might know him.
Yeah.
And of course, it went from there.
Yeah.
I started hanging around there. Kind of had some big years, started learning a lot.
Yeah.
And got a desire to go try it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve is a really good driver.
Yeah, he's very good. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
But the son of a gun don't slow down.
No.
I mean, he's still got it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. You started off in, so you did that with Steve there, and you decided to get into Hornet racing to start off?
I did, yep. I drug home a car, it was dirt cheap, and a buddy of mine put a cage in it, and I went out there just to have some fun. And that's the way it started, was I want to go out there and have some fun.
Yeah.
Well, that lasted about 2 nights, and I wanted to be competitive, not just fun. Competitive. So back to the drawing board we went, and had to redo some things. Came out the next year with another 4-cylinder. Was still a little bit tough.
Yeah.
And
did they have a bunch of rules for those 4-cylinders, or was it just a C?
Yeah, probably not as much as they did now. Just like the new class, first year was riot out there.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it doesn't take long to somebody start putting a little bit of time and money into them.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
they start rising to the top.
Yep.
So to keep up, everybody else had to do that too.
What was the competition level out there like? Were there a lot of cars racing?
There was, yeah, we were at 18, 20 cars.
Oh, gee, that's a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, the names I remember is, I don't know if you guys remember, Murray Keatley.
Yep. He won.
Danny Cole.
Okay.
Danny, who was in stock car, used to run 4-cylinder.
That just shows you.
Scott Lips. There's a lot of them that were quick.
Yeah.
Steve Dwyer was another one.
Yeah. So you raced 2 years in a Hornet class. Did you win?
I did. Not until the very last couple races of my career. I won. I got the taste of victory, and
all downhill from there.
Yeah, I figured we better try another division and see how that goes.
Yeah. And then you got into bomber class?
I did. I got a bomber class again. I will blame it on my brother-in-law. He had a Chevelle with a cage in it.
Yep.
Wanted to sell it, and I thought maybe I was a little bit crazy going out with a old Chevelle, and a lot of people are very upset that I had a 70 Chevelle on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Anybody that doubts that, I had 2.5 gallons of Bondo in it. It was rough.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that was...
Did you have leaf springs in it, or was it
coil
spring?
No, those are coil spring cars.
Yep.
And that was one of the best cars I had. That thing drove nice.
Yeah.
I think it was the 4th race out that I won. Well, on dry spell after that, I didn't win for quite a while.
Yeah.
But
you got the hunger though from.
You got the hunger. I got the taste.
Yeah.
And it's been that way ever since.
Were you running 18 on the car?
I was. Yep. I was running 18.
Yep. You've been running 18 your whole racing
career? That's my whole career. Yep. Yeah. Years ago, I was a Bob Bonnie fan. Who's number 5? My wife.
No.
At the time.
Was Terry?
Terry Labonte was number 5, and my wife's favorite was Bobby Labonte. And when I started racing, the number 5 was taken already, so I chose number 18.
That's a good way to pick them.
Been that way ever since. So anybody who might think that this number came from Rowdy, I had it way before him. Way before him.
That must be like more of the old boys thinking that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that come out, you know, where, yeah, you got your number from Kyle Busch. No, I really didn't.
Anybody that
he got his number from me.
There you go. Yeah, anybody that that goes to the race, and 18 is firmly Spilde's number.
Yeah, yep, and you know, I don't have a lot of double up numbers around here. You know, when we venture out, we'll run into some 18s, but around here, there's not a whole lot.
No.
I've ventured up north to Wisconsin. I ran into an individual that has an 18. I've tried to talk him into change his number.
Yeah.
No success yet.
Did you go up north a lot when you were in the bomber? Did you just stick mostly around the local?
Yep, I was around Cresco and West Union at the Old Echo Valley track. That's where I ran.
How do you like the Old Echo Valley?
Well, I'm going to say I liked it because I had a lot of success there.
Yeah.
It was fun. In its heyday, it was a fantastic track.
Yeah, I remember growing up there watching. That was a big track there before it started going downhill.
It was probably the best laid out facility. I mean, there was no steps in there. Yep. It was a cement slab, all aluminum bleachers.
It was great.
Hills for the kids to play on.
You could see everything.
The track was just a little bit too long. Straightaways too long.
Yeah. What was it, a half mile?
Yeah.
Half mile track. Yeah, that was. Do you remember seeing the old 2-man cruisers out there?
I participated in that on one night.
Did you?
Yeah, one of the guys I pitted next needed a driver. They didn't have the driver there, so I jumped in and tried it.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, they're crazy.
I just remember sitting up in the stands and you'd sit there and you watch those 2-man cruisers, and it took forever for them to get out of turn 4 down to turn 1.
Yep.
And then, but so you did 2 years of bomber class, and then you guys kind of retired for a year.
Oh yeah, myself and my brother-in-law decided it was enough. We accomplished everything we wanted. We both won track championships.
Oh.
I figured that's what I wanted to do. I accomplished it. We'll move on. And
sure.
So we threw a big party.
Yeah. Strippers?
No, not strippers. No, it was a family-oriented party. There is alcohol, but that was it. And we had fun. So the next year, we took the year off. Both myself and Steve.
How was that year? Did you go and watch a lot of races? Or?
We did, and I kind of came to the conclusion that it's a little more expensive staying up in the stands. If you're having a few beers each night.
Yeah.
Just watching what was going on, it drove me crazy. I was okay up until somebody asked if I'd drive the car.
Yeah.
And I stepped into the car, and that's all it took.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a person who quit smoking, pulling that first drag off a cigarette, that's all it took.
Yeah.
I was car shopping after that.
Yeah. So then after that, the next year you decided to get a car, and what'd you find?
The car I bought actually came from the Hubdens in Decorah. It was one of Mitch Hubden's old cars. I bought it thinking that this is going to be a pretty nice car here.
Yeah.
And we got it home, and I found out, they don't run as nice as stuff as I thought they did.
Or they took it all off.
No, just the car needed a lot of work. When I took it apart, took the body off it, I found a lot of issues with the car. And my friends cut the car apart, and would probably have been better off starting over. But we made the car the way we wanted it.
Right.
the way I thought we might be getting it, and just to prove at that point in time that those guys ran. I'm not gonna say junk, but it wasn't great stuff.
Right.
And they had success with it.
Yeah.
I did too. I mean, we built a car, and that was actually a phenomenal car.
Yeah.
We had very good luck with it. Won a lot of races with it.
Yeah. That first year back, you won a lot of races with it.
The first year took getting my feet wet. It was a little bit different driving. We went to a locker end where pure stock were open.
Yeah.
There was a learning curve, but we had some success.
Yeah.
And we just stuck with it. Again, Echo Valley, I went back down there the following year with the car and had success with it, but I also found Decorah at that point in time. I'd never really raced Decorah, and I fell in love with that racetrack. Talk about challenging.
Yeah. You race over in Decorah. If you win over there, you're one hell of a good driver. That track, I don't know what it is about that track, but you have to be really good in the corners.
It really levels the playing field. That track does.
Yeah.
You might think you have good equipment. It's just it's a handling track. You got to be a driver.
Yep.
And you got to watch above your hood pins.
Yeah.
Watch past your hood pins.
Yeah.
Because stuff happens there so
brakes.
fast. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've been dominant at Decorah. When you got back in, when you found Decorah, is that what you mainly focused on? Is trying to make sure you were good at that track?
I'm not going to say I was dominant at Decorah.
I
found wins. I found wins hard to come by at Decorah.
Yeah.
Just because the competition level was so high, and it still is.
Yeah.
I found it does. You can win. I've tried different years there, trying to get a leg up on the competition, and it doesn't matter. I've won with all different types of years.
Yeah.
It's just being in the right place, the right time, making the right moves, and
patient.
Patient, yes, yeah. You got to be very patient there.
Yeah. You maybe dominant isn't the word that you want to use, but I've watched you so much over there, and I mean, you make the track come to you, and you've had a lot of success over there. You won championships over there.
That's some of my proudest moments is being able to say I won over in Upper Iowa.
Yeah.
Points.
Yeah, you have a trophy there, cup trophy behind you on your car there. That's
that's they give those out, and I think it's Hamel Jewelers. I'm not positive. I think they do that every year for a season championship race, and I always wanted to win points over there.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to win season championship race because I always wanted to win this.
Yeah.
And in 2009. I went through some personal issues. I went through a divorce. I thought I was going to have to give up racing. And not only did I win the season championship race and get the trophy, I won season championship points.
Yeah.
Over my nephew. And we had to race right to the end to get it. So that was cool.
Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Chris.
He got back into racing here the last.
Yeah, he
year.
tried quitting once too.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's so addicting.
Yeah.
What makes racing addicting for you?
First off, it becomes a family.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
really does.
Everybody around there, you become friends with, and we might be competitive on the racetrack, but afterwards, we share stories, and you become close with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Racing, I don't know. I guess it's an adrenaline rush. It's stuff that you can do. Probably what I did younger on the street, but it's safer.
Yeah. The competition. I mean, you can't like playing football. You can only play football for so long. Me and Troy Hobie got into this a little bit. You can race until you die. It's you strap yourself in. It's a foot and mind game, and that there's something about that competition. Just getting up beside somebody and trying to beat them, and beat them clean is a big thing you're known for, especially. I don't ever remember having any problems. We've always raced either side by side, never had no problems. You're one of the cleaner race car drivers I've ever raced against. With the hobby stock class, it really is. When I ran it for 3 or 4 years there, I knew everybody down there, and everybody was great. Everybody got along. So that family aspect, it's really impressive with these hobby stocks. The way everybody is great at with everybody. There's not a whole lot of dirty stuff going on. It's just a great class.
It really is, and racing in general. It doesn't matter if you're modified, late model, stock car. It's still always family.
Yeah.
You walk around, you come out of the stands, you come down into the pits afterwards, and very rarely do you see one driver isolated by himself. Right. They're usually mingling around with the other ones.
Yep.
Telling stories,
saying
what could have happened, what we should have done.
Yeah.
And you look forward to that. I look forward to that this year. Hopefully we can get going pretty soon. But it's you met a lot. I've met a lot of people over my life, and I've enjoyed pretty much all of it.
Yeah. Racing, you need really good people racing.
That's how we met.
Yeah, And when I started out, you and Holthaus is who I modeled my racing behind. You guys were clean, fast, ridiculously fast from what I can remember, and I mean, nice to me. I was just starting out. I was a wet kid behind the ears. I was messing up and hitting walls and hitting other things, and you guys gave me a lot of good advice, and you guys were really nice to me starting off, so I do remember that.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I got told, because I got helped also, because they wanted me to, instead of being all over the racetrack, to drive a straight line. That way it made it easier for them to pass me.
Was that the secret?
Yep, so Zach, yeah. We weren't really helping. We just wanted you to drive a straight line so we could try to get around you a little easier.
Yeah. Now I know what to tell new drivers when I get back into it.
No, that's part of the family, If anybody ever needs any help, usually another driver will step up. And it's not just this class, every class, but I hit the wall in Decorah one night and broke the transmission. And I was ready to put it on the trailer. I was done. Well, a couple other drivers came over, started looking at it, and they said, "Well, this ain't that bad, Scott." Upon looking a little further, I found that a transmission had some broken ears on it. So again, I thought I was done.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, again, Dan Hovden says, "Hey, I got a transmission over here. You want to use it for that? We can put it in." And I went, "Really?" Seemed like a lot of work. But I was told, "You come here to watch, you come here to race." So the wrenches started flying. Myself, along with 2 or 3 other drivers in pit crew, put this thing back together. We went back on a race. Now I wasn't real competitive, but you know what? I was out there.
Yeah.
And it's thanks to all the other drivers.
Yeah, the help. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really great people. So you basically been running the hobby stock the whole time. Have you ever wanted to jump up to a stock car or B-mod or anything?
Really, no desire. Again, the way I was brought up, you live within your means.
Yep.
Hobby stock is my passion. I can afford what I'm doing here.
At a competitive level.
Yeah, and you know what a lot of people say, I thought about this earlier, Zach, a lot of people say racing is expensive. Getting into racing is expensive. To maintain isn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, you can make or break, you know, how much you spend by some of the decisions that are made on the racetrack. Sometimes you can't help it.
Right.
But getting into racing is expensive. I was into it. I retired for 1 year, sold everything.
Yeah.
Decided retirement wasn't for me. Got back into it again. I went, whoa. Trying to get everything back.
Sell the trailer and everything?
Oh, I sold everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I sell everything, I'm going to be done. I'm not going to do that again. You know, best way to get into racing is to get a car, basically race ready, because all the bolt-ons is the expensive part.
Yeah, be able to buy at means you're able to afford, and then just build your way up. Is like if you got the motors and the stuff laying around, it can be a decent when you got everything combined, as long as you don't go out and like start doing crazy stuff with your money.
Right. Yep.
How do you look back at your racing career and all the success you've had?
Well, I like to look back and think of all the people I've raced with, the friends I've made, the races I've been involved in, and hopefully people remember me as competitive.
I like to think of people remembering you as a good guy.
Well, and that's what I want to. You know, I like to believe that. And one thing that kind of caught me one day was one of my sponsors came down with his kids. They'd gone to the races, and I like to think of myself as a good guy, pretty decent. He comes down with his kids, and his kid was probably about 9 years old, and he came up to me and says, "Scott, one guy from the stands called you a son of a bitch." And at that point I thought to myself, well, I guess, you know what? Maybe I'm not a fan favorite to everybody. But we try.
Yeah.
Again, nothing was told to me.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say booyah. I don't think I've ever heard anybody do it.
Well, I've heard them. You know, and Kenny Schrader said it best, is you don't get boos when you're not doing something right. So
yeah.
But, you know, one driver told me this too. He says, and you can vouch for it, once you're in the race car racing, you make probably 100 decisions every lap.
Yep. Split seconds.
You don't have a lot of time to think about it.
No. And
so you got to do what you got to do, and you hope it's right. And I wish I could sit here and say that every move was right. I made plenty that weren't.
Yeah. You can't. Me and Jay were talking a little bit about this, and it's if you take the time to think, you're gonna end up doing more harm than just reacting. You have zero time to think. They're all not even split seconds. It's all reaction. And you're just driving to go to the front. Sometimes things happen, but that's racing.
And at my age, you start calculating how much is it going to cost, and how bad is it going to hurt. You know, if you make this move. So you might not. Maybe try it another time.
So you went in. We were over in West Union, and I was still racing at the time, and you went through the wall over there in West Union, went right off turn 1. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, not really. It was actually this car. I had just bought it. Put a new front end. I bought it wrecked from Justin Hansen, and put a new front end on it. Chris Adams took care of it for me, which, by the way, if you're ever looking to get a hog stock, Chris Adams might be the way to go.
Yeah.
does very good work.
That's what car you're running right now, is an Adams car?
This is a old Terminator with an Adams front end on it. Anyways, I bought the car, brought her to Chris, put the front end on it, and came out, and first night the car was lightning fast, and it drove beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought we got something here. My second night was in Decorah, and I don't remember, I think I finished up towards the front. But I went back to West Union, and we went out for a heat race. And this thing was just a peach to drive, and I was checked out.
Yeah.
Going to the corner like I normally did, and I went to set in the corner, and all of a sudden the steering broke, and the steering wheel just sat there and turned.
Yeah.
And I went straight.
Did you?
Yep.
Were you pretty much going full speed?
Yeah, we were running the high side of the racetrack, so it was at the highest speed of the track, and the one thing this car didn't have at the time was very good brakes. So it stood on them, but it didn't help.
Yeah. When you're going like that, that fence ain't very far away either.
No, it really isn't. No. And yeah, it had tin on it, and the tin didn't do the damage to that great big pole behind the tin
Yeah.
that I hit.
Yeah.
Which kept me inside the racetrack. If not, I think we would have been out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I think I broke somebody's back window that was parked down there. Yeah, yeah, with the parts that flew. But again, bent the car all up.
Well, this is I kind of wanted to get into this story here because I was racing at that time, and they brought everybody on the track, and they wanted to make sure everybody was, after they got you out of there, everybody was willing to race, and it was a big safety hazard. But what the real big safety hazard is what was going on inside your car, and how dangerous this sport really is. Once you strap those seatbelts on, you don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. And after you got the car back from the infield, you found some stuff in your car that could have went really bad really fast when you went through that wall.
Yep. You know, it's happened to a few drivers. It happened to me one other time too, but we brought the car home. It was damaged, severely damaged. We were taking the front end apart, taking the hood, fenders, bars out. And I went to take the driver's side door off, and I saw a piece of tin that I didn't recognize.
Yep.
And it was probably about 2 feet long by about a foot wide at one point, and is right to a point at the other. It was actually part of the tin, from the tin wall, and it came up in between the door skin and the door bars. It missed my leg probably by about 6 to 8 inches, but it could have been
way worse.
It could have been way worse. Yeah.
You know, that stuff that just because those seatbelts are there don't mean that something else can. I mean, I'm sure this has happened to you too, where rocks have come in and either hit your leg or hit your helmet or hit your shoulder. Those tracks aren't fully dirt. There's rocks out there and other things, and so like this is truly when you jump in this race car, or you could roll over, or you know, a million different things could happen. I mean, you don't know if you're coming back in.
It's some of the stuff that happens is unreal. I saw with my own eyes a driver came in from racetrack with a railroad spike stuck in the nose cone.
Oh.
Now, you know, these tracks bring in dirt.
Yep.
And, you know, they do the best they can with them.
Yep.
And whether it was in the dirt or maybe it was in, you know, in another car that was that came out, whatever, but anything can happen, you know.
Do you remember that guy over in Decorah when they were running those mini mods where they had the radiator behind them and it exploded on them? That was the worst thing I've ever seen. That guy, I don't even really want to know if I want to tell the story, but it was really bad.
It was bad.
It was a bad deal. And they're dangerous.
They're very dangerous, you know. Those cars are lightning fast too, you know, and when they make contact with each other and they roll, it's almost like rolling dice.
Yeah.
I mean, they just roll, and with that radiator tucked right behind your head, scares me for them.
Do they still do that? I think they might have changed the rule after that situation happened.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't looked up that close because it's.
But regardless of that, it don't matter. I mean, stuff can go wrong.
Years ago, I remember sitting in the stands. It wasn't terribly long ago, but I remember Terry Klum exploded a transmission down the front stretch from Decorah, and the whole cockpit filled it with flames, and you could just barely see a silhouette in there. You know, anything can happen to these things.
Yeah.
We take the precautions we take to hopefully crawl out at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get the misunderstanding that they're not safe. They are as safe as we possibly can, but anything can happen.
Yep, anything can happen.
So you're doing the hobby stock thing now. You got a couple of boys that are grown up. Do you foresee them ever wanting to get into the sport?
Well, I'm not sure. I got my oldest one, and if anybody's been around the races for a long time, they probably remember him. He was the flag man, behind the flag man.
Yeah.
He, when he's younger, he took a liking to flagging these events, and we'd bring him to the races.
Best seat in the house.
Yep, and he would sit right behind the flag man. My mother-in-law at the time made him a whole set of flags. And his model was Wayne Gilster. Yeah, you guys remember Wayne?
Oh, Wayne, yeah.
Yep. And one of the highlights of my career was I had racing Cresco, and I basically wrapped up the point championship. And we came out on the racetrack, and what they did was you're out of the car, and they introduced you to the crowd, so the crowd could see you. And before you got belted in, the flag man, at that point in time, was Wayne, came walking up, and he says, take a look up in the flag stand. And here they put my boy up there for the night. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, I wish I could have won a race for him, but that was probably the only race I ever raced. When we took the green flag, I wasn't watching what was going on in front of me. I was going to the front stretch, looking up at the flag stand, looking, that's my boy.
That's pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that was
How
cool.
many years did he do that then?
Oh, he did that. Oh, I bet you 6-7 years. He never really took a liking to being in the car. I put him in the car one time on a practice night. He had fun, but that just wasn't his cup of tea.
Sure.
Now my youngest one is 21, and I think he would be probably a good candidate for the car. But on the other hand, I don't know if I really want to show him the bad habit I got. But
you got a whole nother space in here for another car, Scott.
Yeah, well, or I could just step aside and let him do it.
Yeah, there you go.
We have a practice nights coming up, and if I can arrange it, I will get him in here and actually put him behind the wheel and see how he does.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't work out last year. We'll see what this year brings.
Yeah. Well, take a liking to it, you get better and better and better at it, and it's a great sport to get into.
It's a fantastic sport, and I love when people bring their kids down to the pits.
Yeah.
It's fun to give autographs. It's fun to let them climb in the cars.
Yeah.
Because that's the next generation of racers.
Yeah.
And we need to keep this sport going.
If you had a say in it, how would you think to get people more interested into getting into a car?
I think a lot of tracks do a lot of right things. One track I attend every night, they will bring a different class of drivers up to the stands.
That's a cool
to sign autographs. some will actually even bring the feature winner, have them bring the car up there so the kids can see the car, you know, and get hands-on with the car, with the driver.
Yeah. Feel the heat off the tires.
Yeah, you know, just little things like that.
Yeah. Would you like to see him bring back the mechanical race?
Boy, those make me sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Powder Puff and the mechanics race, they're fantastic races.
Yeah.
The problem with the mechanics race is testosterone. There's a lot of guys that will strap in with their buddies, badgering them, saying, you better not go slow, you better not do this. And they want to live up to their buddies. And that's how I got started. It was a mechanics race. I was sitting in the lineup at Decorah. Started front row. Nervous as all hell.
Yeah.
And I watched, that's when they ran trucks. I watched a truck when the mechanics bounce off the wall. They body slammed the wall. And I bet you that truck hopped about a foot in the air. And I went, oh my God. I pulled my belts tighter. And I'm not going to do that. I don't care if they make fun of me. I'm not going to do that. You know?
Yeah.
I've had mechanic race sponsor in here. And the first time I put him in here, we laughed and giggled at him. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
He wanted another chance. When he went out there the second time, he got me nervous. So yeah, they are fantastic. And the Women on Wheels is a fantastic event. It gives the wives, girlfriends
who support them all
year a chance to get on and try it. It gives, you know, the fans another race to watch, you know.
It's really fun watching them out there running around.
It is, you know, and it's a great way to get a perspective of what's going on from inside the car.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to sit there and say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that,
yeah,
until you strap your ass in one.
That track looks a whole lot bigger sitting up in the stands than it does on it. You know?
Oh yeah, I was one that's guilty. I could go way fast in a straight line. It's when you get that corner.
Oh yeah.
You know, that made you got a little nervous.
Yeah.
It made a boy out of a man. They're really fast.
Yeah, it's a fucking rush. You got a list of sponsors on your car you want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely, couldn't do it without them. One guy that's been with me the whole time, turning wrenches, getting in the grease, getting burned up, whatever. Dave Schroeder, Dave's Auto Repair at Alma. Couldn't do it without him. I still bring this car over. He's the one that makes it look the way it looks.
Yeah, it looks
He
good.
laid down the paint on it. Yep. United Beverage. Make sure each week we're hydrated.
Yeah, right.
I get another long-time sponsor, been with me for quite a while, is A&W Long John Silver's. Here in Cresco. Anytime we go to the races, I'm going to plug them, stop by.
Yep. Grab a fish taco, they're
Yep,
delicious.
they're fantastic, yeah.
They're way good.
Randy's Car Quest Auto Parts, Decorah, Maple Heights Golf Course. That's my next passion, is golfing.
Yeah.
And they back me in this sport, so I appreciate that. Southside Bar and Grill, Ron's Electric, Patty Shroggett, Signs and Designs also makes it look the way it does. I also got a couple new ones. Homeland Energy Solutions, my place of employment has stepped up, and Bryce Becker Auto Detailing out of Kelman. Well, all our sponsors, whether it's on the race cars or in your flyers that you purchase, or the ones that you see on the bulletin boards or the billboards, they're the ones that make this sport.
They really do. It's great to have somebody supporting you and help you out here and there, and just be a part of it. That's what it's all about. Just have somebody to cheer for you.
Yep, exactly. You know, it gets to be a time-consuming sport.
Yeah.
You know, but if you get a little help from family, friends, and sponsors, it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, having support is.
It's a sport that I will never get out of. I mean, I might crawl out of the driver's seat, but you will still see me there on the weekends.
Yeah. It's a lot of people are like that too. It's a lifelong passion. I mean, I'm not racing now, but I still love going there. I still wait at the beginning of every year to get to go to the track and watch guys run, and it's great.
Oh, we'll offer this, Zach. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah. Don't look it,
It's
dude.
good time to maybe step out. Maybe this is something that you want to get into.
Yeah, maybe.
We might be able to work out a deal because I'm thinking that a for sale sign will be going on this car.
Yeah, maybe if the price is right. I don't know, my pocketbook's pretty thin anymore, and this car is just way too fast to be sold cheap.
Well, we might be able to work something out. Hopefully it's as fast as you're talking.
So what's this year look like for you? Where are you gonna be racing at, and what are your goals? Are you going for another championship?
Well, with my job, I put in a lot of years at Featherlights, and I gave that up about a year ago. Took on another job that kind of cuts into the racing. So me running for a points championship, I think, is probably out. But I will hit just as many as I can. If I'm not working, I'll be racing. If I'm not behind the wheel, I'll be up in the stands.
Here's a good question that'll get me into some trouble. What's your favorite racetrack?
All of them.
That's a good answer.
Cresco and Decorah, I thought were always my favorites. And I ventured up to Wisconsin and found Mississippi Thunder.
Great track.
It's a fun racetrack also, yeah. So I really can't say I have a favorite, Zach. I have fun at a lot of them. Decorah, they all got their niches. Decorah, you're steering on that steering wheel. You're on the wheel all the time, all the way around the racetrack.
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't get a break.
It gets
Cresco,
tough. It gets exhausting in Decorah. It really does.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, you know.
Which makes it that much more fun and a little more challenging.
You go 3/4 through a race, and all of a sudden you catch a yellow, and you go, whoo, time to take a break.
Yeah.
You know, Cresco is just a hop, skip, and jump away from me. You know, and they have a great fan tolerance to it. It'd be nice to see weekly racing there again.
I know.
But it's just tough. It's not like it used to be where a person could run 3 nights a week. It's tough to get backing as a driver and as a promoter.
Sunday nights seem to be especially tough too because people are exhausted. They just there's not the car count like there used to be 20 years ago.
Well, I hate to say it, but some of these traveling series that we have kind of put a damper on both the car count and the fan count.
Yep.
Because the fans, I'm not going to say can't afford to, but they might pick and choose the tracks,
Right.
the events that they want to attend. And everybody likes to go to a USMTS or a late model event, you know.
Yeah.
So might not go this weekend because there's races here every weekend. So we'll catch that another time. We'll go watch late models. We'll go watch the modifieds, and it hurts. It hurts the
local tracks.
Local
not
tracks,
only
yeah.
this is something I haven't brought up, but when those big shows come in, and then you're trying to run points with drivers, you know, if you're going for points and you're trying to win the track champion and a big show comes in with a lot of fast cars, maybe you don't get into the show that night. Do you ever think about that?
Well, that's just part of racing.
Yep.
I mean, I welcome it. It's fun when you can race with a full field, because your heat race matters a whole lot more.
Right.
I've been to the events where there's a lot of cars and I didn't make the show, you know. Or when I did make the show, I had to run a B feature, you know. It just makes you step up your game.
Yeah, it drives you a little bit more.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me, Scott. This has been great.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get together here at mid-season, catch you at a track, and talk to you a little bit more.
Hey, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks. So there it is, folks.